Welcome to Backstabbers, the only podcast where we're not just sticking needles in your back, we're talking behind it too.
I'm being real lazy. And he was like, I like it. It's wet.
He likes it messy.
And I was like, stop. That's what every guy likes this hair because it looks like you just rolled out of bed.
With them in it, yes.
With them in it.
Well, I did get my hair done by an old new girl. So it's, you know, hometown girl who actually did my hair for my wedding. She had done my hair that long ago. And we've circled back to her. But it was so funny because, I've seen her and I know her obviously, but we haven't like talked in years. So it was fun to catch up and all the things. But she was coloring my hair and she was like, I forgot how much hair you have. And I was like, yeah, but it's not nearly anything like it used to be. And she goes, yeah, and it's all up here. What happened down here? I was like, well,
thanks.
We're working on it. Thanks.
I'm chewing at one nasty pill at a time.
I was like, I'm trying. She's like, we got a lot up here. We got to get it down here.
That's what it was the last time I got my hair cut, which this time she said, I'm just going to tell you it was better. But she pulled my hair around to cut it. And this side was down here and this side was up here. And she goes, oh my God, Sarah, what? You've been eating this side? Like, what happened? Like, what? And I was like, I don't know anymore. Just cut it even and don't make fun of it.
That's funny. Well, the hairdresser was like, yeah, getting old sucks. It gets gray and you quit growing it down here. And I was like, oh, you think that's what it is? I just thought it was because I was hard on it. And she was like, well, I mean, it's probably both.
You're like, thanks for the cover up.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It is rough. I told somebody was talking about getting old today, and I was like, well, since I've turned 40, I said the other night I was dreaming incessantly that I injured my back, and I woke up and it was because my lower back was hurting so bad just from sleeping.
Yeah.
I was like, that's what you have to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I did nothing. I had to wake up, stretch it out.
Yeah.
It's the glory of getting old.
I do feel bad. I was giving you a hard time today for your age, too. I said it 2 different times.
I mean,
I'm offended with you, Sarah.
Look at me.
Oh my gosh.
I ain't got a lot going on today, Alex. Listen, kicking a girl while she's down.
Hey.
But it's been a day.
Ready to take the heat for you too with that block.
Which worked amazing.
Did it really? I meant to ask you about it.
87-year-old lady, and she was like kind of snatchy, but in a good way. Like I liked her.
Uh-huh.
And we were doing this block, and she just had, when you get those really old people that their fascia is just kind of mushy.
Yeah.
And everything just doesn't look quite right. And like she had a random pulsating vessel where there was
oh my gosh. It was
and we were trying
weird.
to and then I kind of kicked him out of it towards the end and was injecting the last little bit because I was like, I don't know what we've done. And Alex was standing there and I was like, oh, my anesthesiologist will love this. He loves when things don't work. And anyways,
I was like,
we looked back at it and it was kind of floating. Alex was like, I'll take the heat. I'll take total. Anyways, it ended up working. The lady immediately turned around and was like, it's taking away. I like it. But yeah, she didn't feel anything.
Good. Well, good.
Yeah, she did. We did a Tiva on her because she gets sick, which I freaking love. I know you hate Tivas, Lacey. I love Tivas because they wake up and they're the same that they were when they went to sleep. And every time I walk through PACU, I was like, "Hey, girl, hey!" And she's like, "You talk too much."
That's what her husband says too.
Oh, stop it. But her husband kept carrying this backpack around, and I was like, hey.
It was so precious.
What you got in that backpack? I said, you got snacks. I said, leave that in here. Yeah. I'm going to look for some cookies.
He goes, can I trust you with it? Can I trust
No.
And then he turned to me, can I trust her with it? I was like, I'll watch her. I'll watch her.
She does like snacks, though.
We have snack drawers at work.
We went out and got it from the waiting room, and I was like, you lied to me. I found cookies in your backpack. And he goes, those aren't cookies. Those are wafers. And they're not even that good. I said, okay, I didn't really go through your backpack. But he was adorable. He was like, we've been married 60 years. And I said, 60? He goes, I mean, I don't know. Does it really matter after this long anymore?
No.
I was like, it doesn't. That's amazing.
He was so sweet.
So speaking of, my in-laws celebrated 60 last year. However, we didn't celebrate it. But we did have a big party for 50, but 60 everyone was busy and it just slipped through the cracks. But I knew it was their anniversary because it happens to be the same year that would have been my maternal grandparents' anniversary as well, because we did 50 for both of them like weeks apart. They both got married in May of 1964. Anyway, long story short, so my sister-in-law called me and she was like, she's going to kill me, but I don't think she listens to the episode, so it's fine. She called me just like, hey, we got to plan their 60th anniversary. And I was like, huh? And she was like, yeah, it's their 60th. We need to plan a party. And I was like, well, we're going to need to make that party 60 plus one because it was last year.
Hey, I like that even better.
That's actually really funny.
She was like, wait, what? And I was like, uh-huh. And then she argued with me. She was like, no, my husband said. And I'm like, Miss, here's the picture. Like, I can show you when we celebrated 50. I know what it was.
Here's the year. Simple math plus 10.
Yeah. So stay tuned. We may or may not have a party for 60 plus one.
They may not even. Do they know at this point? I'm just kidding.
Well, so that's the thing. She was like, our father-in-law kept saying something about being year 60. And I was like, well, maybe he means like currently. Like he's trying to remind us that we didn't celebrate them, not that it's going to be 60.
Aw.
Whoopsie.
So I have to give a shout out. That's why I was looking for the name. I'm having. Okay, so my nephew is 15 and 16 actually, but he has started this podcast called Off the Record with Gavin and Ian, and my nephew's one of the most amazing human beings ever. But they just talk about sports, and he's literally everyone's cheerleader, and they talk. Anyways, so he came up for my daughter's birthday this past weekend, and he walked past my room, and he saw my podcast stuff, and he walked back out, and he goes, you know, what's that stuff over there? And I was like, well, it's for the podcast. And he was like, I didn't know you had a podcast. And I looked at my sister and I'm like, thanks. Uh-huh. He's supposed to give me a shout out. Anyway, so he made my sister spend 4 hours on the way back home to all of our podcasts.
And did he give us critiques?
He has not texted me yet, but as she said, after the first one, he continued to want to listen to all of them.
Okay. All right.
She said, I kept telling him I'd already listened to him. And he goes, well, good, you get to listen to him again.
I do like him. The little bit of time I've spent with him, he's a hoot. He's
hilarious, and he keeps her on her toes, too.
Well, we need to shout out our new bestie.
Yes.
Callie's friend.
Oh, Ashton. Yes.
So
I'm like, yes, she is.
You guys, we really do need to do a big girls trip, whether it's for podcast or just for fun. We need to do a girls trip because y'all would freaking love. She and Callie together are just, you don't need entertainment. They're the entertainment.
I've never even personally met Callie, and I'm like, I already feel like I know her. I mean, between the texting group and all of her input.
No, we definitely need to make that happen. For sure. And Ashton's another tall girl.
Sweet. I'm double for you.
Yeah. I mean, they're neck and neck. I don't know which one's taller, but they're both,
my height.
They're very similar in lots of ways.
Her if she's a transvestite.
It is possible she's been asked where the drag show is. I don't know. Callie has been asked. I don't know about Ashton, but
they're so funny. I love it.
I love it.
And she's really good at makeup, so she can give me a couple tips.
Oh my gosh. She always is just.
Yeah, like full glam looking.
Yeah. I don't know how long it takes her because she seems to have it down, but I don't know. I don't know what I do.
If I can't put it on the car on the way to work, then I can't do it.
If it takes more than 5 minutes, it's not for me.
In fact, I got distracted today on my makeup routine on the way to work because I couldn't tell if it was Sarah behind me or another doctor we work with.
I got her back off. We were both putting on our mascara. We're not sure.
So I put it down because I thought it was the other doctor. And I was like, well, I probably shouldn't be doing this. It was just Sarah.
That's funny.
Sarah, our ortho PI, she's always like, yeah, I passed you with your mirror up again. You weren't doing so good today. And I was like, I'm always doing excellent. That's why God gave you 2 knees.
I'm shocked she even noticed that it was you. She's always zooming past everybody.
She goes 82, but she says my lights do something weird, like break. Like, I don't know if I break it all. It's some safety feature on my car. But she's like, I knew it was you because I saw this. I'm like, well, every now and then when I put on mascara, I just got to make sure they're working.
Well, I can attest Sarah is a bad driver.
Listen, I'm not good, but I'm courteous. I will let you in. The rumble strips are mine. I pay for them through my taxes, so I'm going to use them. The curbs, same. Pay for those as well. And those yellow lights that turn into red,
those are just suggestions. Suggestions.
And if your light is not green yet.
Oh my God.
We literally, Aaron and I were driving behind Sarah. I don't remember what we were doing. Maybe looking at houses. You were getting one of your kids a house. Anyway, we were driving and she literally drove through every red light. And Aaron looked at me after about 5 minutes and was like, you are never to ride with her. She always rides with you. I was like, okay.
I was like, that's okay. I don't mind being passenger princess.
I don't actually think anything happened, but after that snowstorm, I was like, let's ride in my car, Sarah.
Right?
Hey, I did pretty good in that snow.
Oh,
we survived.
I didn't go far, but
we survived.
I don't think I'd do well in a slide situation, I'll be real honest.
When we passed the neighborhood for the house where your daughter was 3 different times, that's when I was like,
oh, I don't know where I'm going ever.
And rarely do we have on our glasses. I can get with her on that one.
That's what one of our coworkers' wives just started working in a hospital, and I saw her yesterday, and I did not see her for a long. And then she was like, Sarah, and I was like, I don't have my glasses on. I can't see your face.
Yeah, and we should say this is a really good friend. Like, we have done trips together. We have done, like, it's not a casual. Yeah,
it's not just an acquaintance passing by.
Sorry, I wasn't expecting to see you, and I can't see. I'm sure everybody's like, great, I should give you my license plate, make and model of my car so everyone can watch out. But most of the people, who I like to follow to work? Our boss. That woman flies.
I don't know that I've ever been behind her.
I don't even know.
She's got a license plate, says her last name on it.
Oh.
So
I've seen that car, but I didn't know if it was her or if it was...
It was hers, because one day she almost hit me, and she was like, I said something about, I said, you in a hurry this morning? She goes, oh, is that you? I'm like, yeah, but just keep going that fast. You were going like 85.
I'll follow.
Yeah. I was like, I just
train it
just a little bit before.
It will confuse the officer coming the other way. He won't know one of us is going super fast because we're both going the same speed.
He's going to be like, who was it? I'll go for the next one.
Did y'all ever hear the story about our anesthesiologist, whom I loved, who was speeding, getting to a stat C-section, and pulled up like in the ER, basically? She was like right outside the doors because she didn't ambulate the best. Now you'll know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And the cop had followed her for like miles and like came out, guns drawn, wanting to know. That might have been an exaggeration, but that was the story I heard. Wanting to give her a ticket.
She was running.
And she was like, I got a stat C-section and a dying baby. You're just going to have to follow me. And he got security and they followed her. Well, then security was mad because she had left her car parked literally in like the ER door.
I love her so
and she just threw her keys at him and was like, park it where you want. I don't care.
I love her.
But she was pissed with a capital T. When she got done with the C-section, she went out to go find her car, and those nice security people had parked it all the way at the very back of the parking lot. When they saw a homegirl walked with a limp, like it was definitely...
She had some bad hips.
They knew that she needed a closer spot, and they parked her at the very back. She was mad.
Doesn't surprise me. They hate
agree. Yeah. Yeah. Alex also has history with our security. It's fine.
Which the irony is, I get really frustrated with entitled people. So that day I was acting a little entitled. I was parking in the wrong spot. In my defense, kind of my defense, I know I don't arrive at the same time as everybody.
That's so true.
Kind of my defense. There are people parking in our spots that are not supposed to be parking in our spots. So if those people weren't in my spot, I wouldn't have had to park in the other spot.
Well, it sounds entitled, but we went to a lot of school. There's not a lot of perks.
That's one of them.
Very, very few.
So
I get a little bit of free food, whether that's chips or a stale sandwich, and I get a better parking spot.
Better parking.
We get crackers, but okay. Yes, a dang parking spot.
Yeah. Anyway. We don't have enough, period. Provider parking, whether that's housekeeping or a doctor. There is not enough parking.
But you know what there is? 8,000 dialysis patient parking spots, and I think 2 people a day get dialysis there.
I mean, seriously, there cannot be that many in the whole county.
And I know they don't drive.
Well, also true.
Yeah, also.
Valid point.
I know them. But I've always been like, why are there 4,000 dialysis patient park? We don't even have that many machines.
Well, I think no, they don't. I think it was some agreement because I think initially they were like a private group because we had a lot of private groups. Mm-hmm. And I think it was like a contractual thing. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know that they're still private though, but I think that's just still like an unwritten nicety. I don't know.
Need to move on.
Because I don't think we have any private groups except for maybe the ER.
Not anymore. They're locumed out now.
Yeah.
They just got rid of the group.
Oh, did they? At our facility? Mm-hmm. I didn't know that.
Because they are the ones that help my husband's staff. And,
right.
Yeah.
I think they were one of the last. Radiology might still be. I'm not sure. But slowly they
would say it's a dicament.
It is. That's an excellent word. That should be our word of the week, dicament.
It should be. She was saying, all I heard kept saying her dick of something, and I was like, what are you saying? She's like, it's quite a dicament, Mom.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, predicament. Okay, yes, it is a
but
dicament.
I like this better. It is.
We had some dicaments today.
Yeah, we did a whole bag of dicaments. Oh, Lord.
I have to laugh about it or I'll just get cranky again.
I know.
Do you want me to help you get uncranky?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Because I've got a good story.
Okay.
I'm going to show a picture too. Okay.
Oh no, this scares
me.
I can hardly wait.
Oh, okay.
And her husband.
Oh, I know this story and I love it.
They are the country. They have horses and donkeys and mules, all the things, and cats. So they've got like 3 cats, 5 dogs. She's rescued people. She's stolen people's dogs out of their garage because she thinks they're mistreating. Like they're just animal people rescued. So
tell her to come rescue Pedro.
Sorry. You leave Pedro where he is. Poor Pedro. I'm gonna take Pedro.
Like, please do. Okay. Anyway.
So yeah, that reminds me of a Pedro story about Alex in church too. So this sweet little kitten, somebody dropped her off, and because they live in a place where that happens in Arkansas, and so they thought she was a kitten, and we went and visited this she's tiny little emaciated kitten, and they were kind of feeding her back to health and everything, and so Laura, my sister, took her to get fixed, is I think what it was. Anyways, it turns out that she was over a year old and she had some cells congealed and she was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was so early, like they were like, this isn't even a big deal. Like when we fix her, I'll take care of it.
Oh yeah.
So
they do it all the time.
My brother-in-law, they love to play pranks on each other. Like he loves to post pictures on Facebook of her sleeping and drooling, that like all the time. It's like a thing with him, and she loves to scare him and put it on Facebook. So he is rather gullible. And she called him and she was like, well, they had to do an emergency C-section for 4 kittens and they're in the FICU. And he was like, they're in the what? And she was like, the feline intensive care unit. They've got a nurse and put feeding tubes in until the kittens are back to health. And she was like, I don't know how long it's going to take, but they got to wait for Marsha's milk to come in. So he's like, oh my God, this is going to be so expensive. 4 kittens in the FICU. And so this was literally going on for 3 or 4 weeks. And
no.
they're at my house house for my daughter's birthday, and we were like, me and my sister were like, it's time. And you need to tell him now in front of us because we need to enjoy this. And she goes, well, the funny thing on the way in, he was like, I mean, what's going on with the kittens and the FICU? Like, what's going on? And she was like, I couldn't do it. And she said, and then I was like, I'll waste this moment if it's in my car by myself.
Yeah.
And he might kill me. Because he's like, I mean, this is going to be thousands of dollars. And so in the meantime, we found out that he's also been assaulting poor Marcia and trying to see if her little nipples are making milk. So he's been trying to milk the cat like on Meet the Fockers. So this is the sweet little cat. Okay, this is Marcia, and this is probably after a picture of her coming to tell me
he had been milking her.
He's been trying to milk her
after he's been molested.
And I was gonna just try to do this little part of this video at the very beginning when we tell him, and she tells him, and his face drops.
I have watched this video at least a dozen times, and I still laugh every time. And because like, Jimmy, you can't help but love him.
On the way
he's
up
like,
here to tell me. And
he's like, I'm a dumbass.
He goes, I'm not going to live this down for a long time, am I? And I was like, you are not. And I said, I do need to educate you, Jimmy. There is no such thing as a FICU.
Until you end up in the FICU.
And I said, and I don't think you should squeeze Marcia's nipples anymore.
I think you should lay off.
Oh my gosh, we laughed. And I said, also, I don't think there's ever been an emergency stat C-section done on kittens in that situation when they're that early.
Yeah, not that early. No, definitely not. That was an abortion is what that was.
Bless his heart.
He's so frustrated. He just kept hanging his head. He was like, I'm such an idiot. And my husband was over there on the couch going, they set you up, Jenny. They just set you up. And I was like, yeah, yes.
Yeah.
100%. But it just goes, he has got the biggest heart. He would have let them stay in the FICU for who knows how long.
100%.
And he just would have, oh my gosh. She could have got herself a new bag or something.
Oh, 100%. She should have, I said, you should
get yourself a little Birkin.
Bills, this is, and just write FICU real big on it.
She should do that now for like an anniversary or a birthday or something. See if
we should make a foundation, a FICU foundation.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, Lacey, we can make shirts.
Done.
Yes.
Oh, this just got even better.
I'm ready for it. When's his birthday? We'll make him some FICU shirts.
Well, it needs to be monthly.
Just a foundation that starts sending him gifts. Thank you for your contribution.
Anyways, they're hilarious. So that was my funny story for the day. But I was like, I got to share the FICU story. Just makes you giggle.
But that is good. I don't think I could have even.
I know. She comes up with it quick, though. It's always impressive.
Oh, she's sneaky funny, too. She'll say stuff and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah. She is. But then Ashley, my other sisters,
real quick.
They're very funny.
Mm-hmm.
You guys got some funny sisters up in there.
They're hilarious. They all keep it lively. That's why we at Girls Week, it will be hilarious.
It'll be a good time. Yeah, that needs to happen.
Margaritas. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'll come watch it.
I had been researching about the nurse influencer, Haley Ocala. I'm sure I butchered that. The one who died from the AFE. So I did some research.
Okay.
So it was a C-section.
Okay.
Which I didn't know. Her husband did state that he was told it was an AFE. I didn't know, and so I called my aunt to verify this. I didn't realize that that's kind of a diagnosis of exclusion, meaning it's not anything.
When they don't know
so it's kind of we can't figure out that it's anything else, so we're going to say that it's this, but not. And she said there in her day, it was we'd tell you on autopsy. But even then, it was kind of an opinion, not a factual, we can see this hard evidence. That's what this is. But I found there are 4 things that have been proposed, and I forget who did it. But even the OBs can't agree on these 4 things. So it is definitely some murky water on when they decide if it's an AFE or not. But it has to be a sudden cardiopulmonary arrest or hypotension with respiratory compromise that essentially then leads into it. DIC, no fever throughout labor or delivery. That's a big one for them. And then, I think the fourth one was actually that you had to have DIC, and then the DIC was followed by hemorrhage. But I listened to a podcast, and I think we should clarify on all podcasts, they are people's opinions. That is not hard, fast truths. You should not change the way you practice because someone who bought a microphone said something.
It's the way they've always done it. It's always worked.
I'm just going to throw that out there. But there's an MFM who does a podcast who is very passionate about not doing A-OK. And I don't know that that's where this came from, that they had kind of pulled the kits and whatnot. Now, I would imagine in the C-section, you had a typical Omnicell that still had the drugs, just not a kit. I don't know. I don't know how people practice. They could have drug boxes for all we know. Don't know.
Right.
I would still think an OB kit would have all of those.
You would think it would. I don't know. And I will say her point was, because she's, like I said, she's very passionate about not going for A-OK, and so that there needs more studies. And I can appreciate that.
But why?
However,
why
it's
not?
and it's so rare. How many moms need to die before you can say if it's going to work? I mean,
right.
Anyway.
I'm going to try that, yeah. Something so simple.
I can agree with her point that was, don't forget basic ACLS protocol.
Okay.
And her statement was, like I said, passionate, but it was a lot of don't get so wrapped up on this magic bullet of A-OK that you forget to do the other things. And I would like to think that that's kind of a
no-brainer.
An adjunct, not a treatment, like sole treatment.
Yeah.
That's what, nobody just gives that and stares at them. I mean,
right. I'm not stopping at the Zofran and atropine and Toradol and being like, all right, guys, it's going to be fine.
All. It's resolved.
No, just stare. Don't touch.
I mean, if we're being honest, I'm probably have shit my pants. We've given a couple of rounds of things and shocked. And then I'm like, oh, you know what I should give is some Zofran and some Toradol.
Yeah. Right.
I mean,
because I've probably already done the atropine.
Because why not? Again, why not?
Yeah. And she I will say, in the one podcast I listened to, she did say, I agree that they're not harmful. There's no harm in giving them.
Okay.
But the research isn't there, and don't get fixated on that. Which
to me,
again would like to.
Would be harm. I mean, would be more harm induced than giving it, because there's no reason not to give it. I mean,
yeah. Well, and it's kind of like you said, Sarah. At that point, you're not making them more dead. Give anything you can think of that might help.
It's
right. Literally anything.
They would look around. They'd be like, "Anybody want to try anything? We'd try anything. Want to try anything?"
I mean, seriously.
It's not going to get worse.
No.
But yeah, so I have heard that.
Yeah. And I did read that they are proposing that we should include TXA, which would make sense.
At what point?
Oh, yeah. I asked my husband, I asked her, y'all
at any point during the AFE algorithm that you're coding and you're doing all of the things, think about TXA2 to help with the DIC and hemorrhage.
Yeah.
And I could see at that point, you're seeing if anything will help. Will anything stick?
More recently than not, I'm reaching for TXA by request of OBs.
Agree. They are on a kick. Yep, I agree.
What do you want? You want to say hi real quick?
Guys!
What y'all doing?
Hey, y'all don't got no teeth. Where'd they go?
Did y'all get money for all those? Are you going to let me have some money?
6.
Hey, how much did the tooth fairy bring?
I got no money for this one.
Did she give you like a pony or something instead?
I'll talk to the tooth fairy.
Yeah.
Yay.
Oh.
Hey, which one of you had a birthday? Happy birthday.
Can you say thank you?
Thank you.
You're 25?
No. I'm gonna be 20. I'm gonna be 28 in 2 months.
28 in 2 months. I knew it.
When's your birthday?
28. No, you're
when's your birthday? Tell them what's special about this birthday.
Is it your golden birthday?
Mm-hmm.
My golden birthday.
That's so awesome.
Are you excited?
888. Aw.
8 is the number.
Okay. I love you. Go to bed. Okay.
I love
I
you.
love you guys.
He loves this sweater. Okay. I love you, boys. Go to bed.
You make the
They're
cutest kids. Let's have at least one more.
And oh my gosh, could you imagine if it was a little girl?
I mean, I think you need to prepare. It's a boy.
I know that. I do know that. But
okay, we have a new fun game we're going to play with Alex.
Oh.
It's called Guess These Celebrities.
Oh God, I'm not okay.
It's people everyone should know. And I'm going to give you a clue. It's 4 people. We're going to see if you can name any of them.
Just any.
2 of them are actors. 2 of them are singers. 2 of them are related.
Okay. Mia Thermopolis.
What's your real name? I mean, did you really just say the Princess Diaries name?
I'm assuming you're referring to this one.
Anne Hathaway. That's not Anne Hathaway?
It is not.
Okay. Okay.
The other one looks like Beth Dutton.
No. No, I mean, it's not Beth Dutton.
Okay.
It might be Beth Dutton's like grandmother. But it's not Beth Dutton.
Okay.
Yeah, she just sounds Beth Dutton.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. I've seen the top left one. He was like on a teen show.
He was my boyfriend.
I think I had a poster.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Was he on?
Absolutely.
Was he on? Like Saved by the Bell or something like that.
Don't insult. No, don't talk about Saved by the Bell like that. Like you don't know.
You don't know. Can you name a character on Saved by the Bell?
Skeet, something like that.
Screech.
Sarah, who are you closer to in age?
Well, Alex, probably.
She can't name Screech.
Go.
I haven't had my hairdresser talk about the grays and the short yet, so I'm pretty sure I think it's Alex. So.
Okay, which 2 are going to be related?
Oh my gosh. The old guy and Anne Hathaway.
It's not Anne Hathaway. It's 100% not Anne Hathaway.
And I can't believe you called him the old guy.
The old guy.
Because I also think he's rather sexy for an old guy.
Okay. I mean, I don't know who he is. He's a singer, though.
I have seen both singers in concert.
Yeah.
Is she a singer?
Beth Dutton's also a singer. Rather famous one.
Is that Sheryl Crow?
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Cheryl.
I legitimately do not know any of those. Like,
Lacey,
I don't have one.
I said she ain't gonna know one of those.
I sent it to Sarah a couple of days ago, and I was like, "Is this too easy? I feel like it's too easy." And she goes, "Oh no, she won't know any of them." And I was like,
one of them.
"Really?
Oh, man.
Okay. Who's? I know.
You don't know anything.
I'm trying to have redemption. I do know the older guy is a singer. I do know that.
I mean, one of the most famous bands of all
ever.
times.
Sarah and I have tried twice to see them together.
Yes, we have. They were trying to die.
I have seen it, but I was poor and messy.
Is that Mick Jagger?
No, it's not Mick Jagger, but you are at least closer in your guessing.
It's better than Beth Dutton. Okay, I mean,
Okay.
So many people disappointed in you right now.
So many. We've lost listeners over this.
I'm one of them.
Okay.
I'm just out.
This right here is Steven Tyler.
Oh, then Liv Tyler.
Name the band he's in.
I don't know.
No
Aerosmith.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, nothing. Okay.
So
right.
this one is Liv Tyler.
Anne Hathaway. Okay.
Stevie Nicks
is a female? I could have swore that was a male.
You thought Stevie.
Do you know what band she's a famous member of?
I have no idea. Being that I thought she was a male.
Fleetwood Mac. Ever heard of them?
I have heard of that.
Landslide.
No.
The Dixie Chicks did a cover.
I know who the Dixie Chicks are.
Oh, we got an excited
Jesus.
right there.
The Chicks now.
Oh,
Home
you ever watched
Improvement.
that show?
Okay. Tim Allen, yes. And then there's
but that
Vince
wasn't
guy.
Tim Allen. Yeah.
No, but he's one of the kids on there.
Mm-hmm.
What was his name?
Jonathan Taylor Thomas, like one of the cutest kids of the 90s ever.
He's
Pretty
cute.
sure I had a poster
Oh,
What does he look like now?
of JTT. Not that cute.
No,
Okay.
I mean, you know, we all
okay.
get rough.
Well.
I kind of look like Steven Tyler.
You gotta do.
Or Stevie Nicks, apparently,
Yes.
since that's a girl.
Apparently.
So I went on a family girls trip to New York City right before COVID and did all of the things. And one of the things we did was Callie and I surprised my mom with tickets to Madison Square Garden to see Fleetwood Mac, which is just kind of first of all, an iconic place and then an iconic concert. And it was great. We went right after we did Jimmy Fallon. We literally hopped it from that recording to the concert and then back to our room to watch Fallon live where we could sort of see our back of our heads. Anyway, Callie, I do all the planning. Callie just shows up and has a good time. She didn't know one plan for the whole trip. But so we're there and she's like, I've never heard of Fleetwood Mac. I don't know who these people are. And they start playing Landslide that was covered by the Chicks. And she suddenly stands up and is like, oh, I do know this song. They're doing a Dixie cover. And I was like, oh, baby, no.
Other way around.
We shouldn't say that. All right. What's going to be our word of the week?
I like, what did we say earlier? Dicament.
Dicament.
Yes. Oh.
Okay, so word of the week.
Dicament.
Dicament.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Dicament. We should put that up as a like wrong answers only funny thing for what dicament means.
Yes, that's a good point. What
You know what I mean?
What does it actually mean?
If you
I like that.
be as bad as Alex and guessing.
Yeah.
Be as bad as Alex guessing about Anne Hathaway.
Yeah. 0 for 4, Alex.
We'll try again next week. Okay.
Try again.
Yes. Do it.
Yep.
Okay.
Bye, bitches.
All right.
Backstabbers out.
Backstabbers out.
Bye. All right. Jesus wants y'all to be quiet. Bye, y'all.
Be quiet. Backstabbers out.
Bye.